I have been playing Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection, and in today's video I'm going to tell you about my experience, and I'm hoping you can join me today for this one. So with that all being said, what is up guys, Jen here, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you being here. If you want to support the channel, please hit the like button, it helps out more than you know. And if you want to stick around for some more RPG content, you're already in the right place, just hit that subscribe button. Now, I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to nutshell the video for those that just want to know. This is Monster Hunter Stories, bigger, badder, and better than ever. If you have enjoyed the previous Monster Hunter Stories game, you're going to absolutely love this one. If you've never played a Monster Hunter Stories game and you're wanting a new turn-based JRPG with exploration, mechanics to mess around with, and everything else in between, I really think you need to look at this one. You're going to have quite a good time with it. Now, if that's good enough for you, I appreciate you being here, but if you want to stick around to see how I got to that conclusion, then please stick around. We're going to be going into some details. No spoilers, of course, just my overall experience with Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection, and of course, we're going to start off with the story. I'll reiterate the fact, there's no spoilers here because I think this is the best storytelling that Monster Hunter Stories has had out of the 3 games that have been offered. I've never really gotten into the stories of Monster Hunter Stories. Monster Hunter Stories 1 I dabbled into. Monster Hunter Stories 2 I was more there for the exploration and the game mechanics and didn't really follow the story too much. But here, caught me off guard and got me invested quite quickly. I like the political intrigue that is here, of course, everything to do with the monsters here woven into that. The fact that your protagonist, the character you create, now speaks dialogue, which adds another layer of just interacting with other characters throughout the game. And I think not having a silent protagonist for the Monster Hunter Stories games really works well. It really made the story worthwhile for me. There are a plethora of characters that you'll meet along the way, good and bad, but you have your band of comrades that you get introduced quite early on in the game, and you can take them on your adventures with you, swapping them in and out. But a really nice thing that is offered here is side stories, which allows you to dig a little deeper and get to know your comrades that little bit better. Some of these being battles, some of these being fun little quests to get to know the characters a little bit more. It's a nice touch and overall made the story of Monster Hunter Stories 3 very enjoyable. Now, I won't go in any deeper than that, I'll leave it there because I want to talk about the gameplay. This is the meat of the Monster Hunter Stories games. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this is bigger and better in every aspect, and exploration is one of those things. First of all, it's the quality of life, being able to swap monsties on the fly, climbing cliffs, sneaking around, swimming, aerial movement, it's all here and it can all be done on a weapon wheel type system, which is really convenient to be able to just adapt to the terrain that is around you, or maybe you want to have a lead monstie going into a battle. Not only that, you can scare monsters off, you can do projectiles at things, breaking things to get items and getting the advantage in battle. You can do melee attacks on the field to give you that preemptive strike on the enemies. There are of course so many things to discover on these beautiful open zones that are offered here in Monster Hunter Stories 3. Of course, there's items just littered about. There are little secrets here and there. There's things to discover. There are the pigs that are littered about as well for those that like collectibles. There's just something always perking your interest as you're going through, and that includes towns as well. Of course, you've got the usual shops, the blacksmiths where you can upgrade your armor and weapons, where you can hatch your eggs, your home base where you can change into outfits and talk to your comrades and just get in touch with the story a little bit more. It's really quite crazy what they've been able to do here in Monster Hunter Stories 3, really adapting what worked in the previous 2 games and taking it to a new level with amazing quality of life, making no moment feel dull at all. Another thing, which is more to do with the monsties, but you'll find it in exploration, is of course you'll be collecting eggs by going to monster dens, whether they're normal ones or rare ones, but you really get to restore damaged ecosystems here, so you will only have a small amount of monsters that will be roaming the fields. But as you collect more eggs and you hand them off for research for the ecosystems, you'll be able to get a bigger variety of monsters that you'll be able to go against, whether you capture them or whether you go against them for experience or just items and parts for weapons and armor. And it just gives you another layer to be able to not just get the eggs and hatch them and hope that you get the best rare egg with the best stats, but just being able to throw off all of those eggs that you might not use for a new system that really just benefits you as a player. Before we go into combat, let's talk about the monsters in general. They get their own section here in this video. So egg hunting, of course, returns, like we said, with monster dens. We get to raise, we get to bond with the monsters, which has been a mechanic throughout the whole series. The gene system returns, giving you the ability to customize the monsters to your liking and build your ultimate team of monsters. Of course, like we've spoken about with the habitat restoration, there's rare attribute variants and color changes for monsters, and there's a bigger roster than ever with the monsters. The monsters is a core mechanic when it comes to the gameplay, both exploration and combat. It's just been made better here. Next up, we have combat, and again, it is just better than ever. We have the rock, paper, scissors system here returning, power, speed, and technical. You get to learn what the monsters do. You have a bestiary that clearly labels, once you've gone against a monster, what their prominent attack will be. Of course, they do switch them up in battle, keeping you on your toes and allowing you to rethink your strategy. You've got the targetable monster body parts for the bigger monsters for strategic damage, whether you're using a slashing weapon, a spear type weapon, or a long range bow type weapon. They all fall into the mechanics here. You also have the willpower gauge leading to break states where you will be able to get the advantage on the monsters here. There's a new mechanic called the synchro rush. This is more like an all-out attack from the Persona series. When they do get downed because you hit their weakness, you can all attack and do some damage. The kingship system returns here again with dual attacks, so if you are in the right situation, hitting a weakness at the same time, you and the comrade of your choosing have been able to fill up the kingship gauge. You can trigger them both at the same time for some unique animations. It's quite exhilarating here. The speed and just the look, the UI of Monster Hunter Stories 3 has been quite the pleasure to play. I always felt when I was playing Monster Hunter Stories 1 and 2 that things were just getting a little bit boring and it was just the same old attack. Here in Monster Hunter Stories 3, of course, the fodder battles where I'm just doing generic enemies, of which you can just beat on the field if you use a melee attack, by the way, and just completely skip that battle. And you have the option to auto rush a battle if you are stronger as well, if you want to do that. But the tougher battles and of course the boss battles, really cool mechanics that are thrown into the mix here, really getting you to think and making sure that you've got the right monsters at the right time. I think my only issue when it comes to combat is really an issue on my part. With there being more systems and being quite complex systems, you could get quite overwhelmed, and at the beginning I did get quite overwhelmed. I was like, okay, I need to do this. Okay, when this happens, I need to do this. Okay, and when this situation arises, I need to be able to switch this in and change to this and do this and be able to do this in a certain amount of time. There are a lot of things that have been thrown at you, but I just spent the time, read those tutorials because they really do help, and I've not had too much trouble so far, but there have definitely been some fights where I've got a little bit frustrated because I'm either under-leveled or I'm just not getting the mechanics, but I throw that up to just being on me and not a problem with the game because everything you need to know is there. Just give it the time to read and you should be okay. All in all, Monster Hunter Stories 3 has been quite a treat, and it is the best, as you would expect, Monster Hunter Stories game to date, with so many systems to dive into. I've not even gone into side quests, which there's many side quests for you to build the experience, get new items. Of course, we mentioned ever so slightly, and I guess it's going to become its own little subject here in the video, is the improving your armor, improving your weapons as you get the monster parts. If you do target certain monster parts in the battles of the bigger monsters, you can then use a blacksmith to get better swords, better bows, better armor, change your aesthetic, change your visuals. If there is an armor that you've created and it's on your character and you don't really like it, you can default back to any of the armors that you created before. So it's well worth just creating all the armors so you've got just a wide range of outfits to wear. The systems when it comes to armor and weapons goes deeper than you can imagine, with elemental properties and just bonuses that you can then equip on top top of that is already being offered, it is insane, and there is a lot for you to mess around with here. I think that's everything that I'm gonna go over in today's video. I appreciate your time, and until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.